चलो गुड। यहाँ पे स्टार्ट होगा ना, इसको पोस्ट करना पड़ेगा, देन यू कैन स्टार्ट। मैं तो तक मैसेज डाल देता हूँ।
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Hare Krishna to all devotees, please accept my humble. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna to all devotees. Yes, please accept my humble obeisances. So today we have with us High Grace Gaurangi Gandharvika Mataji. So most of us already know. I request that please stay on me. Yeah. So Mataji is a devotee by birth. She born in USA and now she's staying in Mayapur. She moved to Mayapur just when she was 7 years old and received initiation from Gurumaharaj in 2012 on Gaura Purnima. So Mataji has a bachelor degrees in primary education. Currently, Mataji is a Bhakti Kids coordinator of Congregational Development Ministry, putting together content and programs for children around the world. So we also use Mataji, your books, like you have written in Delhi also, in Rohini Temple. We do use those books for the teenage programs here. So happy to have you today, Mataji. Over to you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Sorry, in the beginning, I think I was having some problem with the sound. Thank you so much, and please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Gurumaharaj. I feel very honored to be here and to be with our God family. I just want to start with Guru Maharaj's pranam mantra. Namo Vishwabudaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimate Jayapataka Samniti Namine Namachari Pradaya Nitege Padayane Gorakata Damodaya Nagragamatarine. So anyway, I feel so like small and insignificant. So I hope to share some stories. I chose the title Guru Maharaj as our caring father because I had fortune to receive Guru Maharaj's association since I was a little kid. So I just wanted to share maybe a few of those personal exchanges with Guru Maharaj and how he's so personal and approachable and caring. So I thought to just share some of these things. So like since I was very small, Guru Maharaj has been like a major pillar in my life. He fed me my first grains. And actually, when I was 7 years old and we came to Mayapur, my family just came for like 2-3 weeks just to visit Mayapur. And I still remember very clearly like Guru Maharaj standing in front of Nrsingadev with the helmet. And he was like the first person I remember seeing. And he was so happy that, we finally came to Mayapur. And I still, remember so clearly how he's like, oh, you're here. And he was with a big smile. And actually, it's because of Guru Maharaj's mercy and personal hand in my family's life that we ended up just leaving our life in America and coming to Mayapur and moving there. It was just supposed to be like a 2-3 week visit. And then now it's been 20 years and we're still in Mayapur. So it's all Guru Maharaj's mercy. And like when we were really small in Mayapur, like 20 years ago, before Guru Maharaj had the stroke, Guru Maharaj would go on japa walks every single morning. And like he had his usual route, and he would stop at the Goshala and drink a cup of cow urine for like his health. And I just remember he would like every day pass by our house. And I just remember like as a little kid, as soon as I hear the chanting, like japa, and like running outside. And sometimes Guru Maharaj would call out like, Gaurangi. So I just remember feeling like, so like Guru Maharaj really has this special potency of making everyone feel so like special and seen, just like a little wave or just a smile, Haribol. I'm sure like everyone has experienced it, just like fills your heart with like joy, and you just just completely like makes your day like, oh, this is the best day of my life. Guru Maharaj waved at me. So yeah, I mean, Guru Maharaj has that special like potency. And yeah, I remember one time I was sitting outside the temple and I was eating Mangalarti sweets, and Guru Maharaj came, he's like, Gaurangi. And just like an innocent kid, I just asked Guru Maharaj, what is your favorite, burfi or sandwich? And then like all the kids, we would ask each other that. So then Guru Maharaj said, oh, sandwich. So just like little things like that. And Guru Maharaj would also go to all the homes, different grihastas homes, and we would get to, wash his lotus feet and eat, his remnant, and feed Guru Maharaj, and then eat his Mahaprasadam. So it felt really, special. And also one nice thing that we would have Guru Pujas for Guru Maharaj in like the Sulabh kitchen hall and sometimes the Gada Bhavan hall. And for every Guru Puja, I remember in the end of it, when Guru Maharaj was about to leave, all the kids would run to Guru Maharaj's shoes, because we knew that if you get the shoes, you can put it on Guru Maharaj. So then, all the kids would go and Guru Maharaj would play like a little game. So, you'd pull his right shoe for his right foot and he would like move it around. So we have to like, try to put Guru Maharaj's shoe on his lotus feet, and like that, he would like play with us. And I just remember anyway, some of these stories are a little bit embarrassing. So one time, my friend and I, Sita Thakurani and I, went on boat. We were on the same boat with Guru Maharaj to go on Parigram. And we were not shy. So we would sit right there. Like if we could, like Guru Maharaj is there, would be like right at the front. And kids like to, play games and eat like cheese or chocolates or candy. So I just remember we were right there next to Guru Maharaj. And my friend and I, we just started eating candy. So Guru Maharaj was like, what are you doing? What are you eating? We're like, oh, we're eating candy. And then we started playing a little game on, like drawing game. He's like, now what are you doing? We're like, we're playing games, like completely innocently. And then Guru Maharaj like would give us the opportunity to like massage his lotus feet. So, and then I actually seen this video very recently. And then now that I look back, I'm like, wow, we weren't even doing Guru Maharaj a favor of massaging his lotus feet, just little kids, we were pretty much just like touching Guru Maharaj's feet, but he was so like patient and like just so merciful that he just allowed like the kids to do any little service that we could, putting on his shoes or, giving him like a cup of water or just like walking next to him or just doing anything. He was always so warm and welcoming and just makes everyone's day. And it was funny because Guru Maharaj has like he really gives attention to like the youth and to like new devotees and also to children. So I remember once I just wrote a letter to Guru Maharaj, an email. It wasn't very meaningful. Like I think I just wrote to Guru Maharaj saying like, oh, Guru Maharaj, we miss you in Mayapur. When are you coming back? Something maybe small like that. And then Guru Maharaj replied like 2 days after. And I remember telling this to my father, like, oh, Guru Maharaj responded. And he said, what? I've been waiting for Guru Maharaj to reply for so many weeks. And he responded to you. Like, because, we were kids and Guru Maharaj wanted to like inspire us. And I remember he said like, okay, listen, hear the websites where you can listen to my classes. And, don't worry, I'm coming back soon. So yeah, just little stories like that. Also, when we would go on safari with Guru Maharaj, he would actually like travel with us, like on the train and on the buses. And I remember, like on the stage, Guru Maharaj would rap. Like I think it was about the Jharikanda forest, like one of Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So Guru Maharaj was like rapping on the stage for the cultural program. And then, all the kids, we would like my friend and I, we would be like the animals. Like Guru Maharaj was telling us to, act like the elephant or the tiger. And we we went water rafting with Guru Maharaj. So yeah, I just think of the best times in my life in Krishna consciousness, and Guru Maharaj is there. So I just feel like, yeah, like how the Srimad Bhagavatam says that just one moment with a pure devotee is like a priceless treasure. So I really feel that these, these little moments with Guru Maharaj, just anything is really is what carries me on, and I'm sure carries all of us on in our Krishna consciousness, and gives us strength. So yeah, we're just so fortunate to have Guru Maharaj in our lives. And I also, when Guru Maharaj had the stroke, he was staying there in the Lotus building, downstairs, because that was easy for him to go, not in the Lotus building. He was staying in the Conch building on the ground floor when he got his stroke, because it's easy for the wheelchair and they didn't have to go up the stairs. So Guru Maharaj wasn't staying in the Lotus building roof. So I think that was the first maybe 2-3 months, or I don't remember how long, but he was down there. So then I remember I was on school holidays, and every day we would go to Guru Maharaj, and he would go to the Gada Bhavan, the swimming pool, to do exercises. And so he would do swimming, with assistance. And then I remember I feel very fortunate and happy that I was still at that age that I could go there. And so we would hold, my friend and I, we would hold Guru Maharaj's Pavitram and the clicker, and then we would cheer for Guru Maharaj. So when he would be swimming, we'll be like, Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. And then Guru Maharaj, he was encouraging us to sing and chant so that he could do it faster. And it just reminds me, now sometimes on Guru Maharaj's app, he says, I read it recently that I think he stopped doing an exercise, and he told the doctors, I will only keep going if you chant the Maha Mantra. So then, and then he was doing the exercises. So then, yeah, that was a really wonderful opportunity. And I just remember for 2 months just spending as much as I can with Guru Maharaj. We would sing for him during breakfast and lunch. And also, yeah, we helped Guru Maharaj decorate a lantern for Adastami, brought, it was just, these months with Guru Maharaj are the best, the best months of my life in Krishna consciousness. And I actually remember Sita and I, we were kids and we weren't shy. So we asked Guru Maharaj, can we come in the swimming pool also? So then, so then we went in the swimming pool the next day, and we got to one Guru Maharaj's steps. And yeah, Guru Maharaj is so merciful and so patient, because one time he told me put the clicker back on 0. So then I changed it to 0, and then Guru Maharaj asked, so how many, what was the number? How much did I chant? And I was oh, I didn't look, Guru Maharaj. I think it was something like that. He didn't say anything. He just was very patient and tolerant with just like with us little kids. And also like the steps, like we wouldn't even count properly. So like he was always, welcoming and didn't just say like, oh, like, oh, we're a disturbance, like go away. Yeah. I mean, even in like my Bhakti Kids service, Guru Maharaj always says like children are not a disturbance. They're not a disturbance to mothers or fathers. They actually can help us grow in Krishna consciousness. So Guru Maharaj was just so merciful and kind and compassionate to us. One of my favorite memories was, I remember I was just outside the room of Guru Maharaj's room, and then this was like during the stroke time, like right after when he came back to Mayapur, and then somehow like one of the servants said, "Oh, you can come inside." So I was inside, and Guru Maharaj was doing like some exercises, and Ekanath, who is one of Guru Maharaj's servants, he was counting for Guru Maharaj, like 1, 2, 3, and he would mess it up on purpose so that Guru Maharaj would have to do more. So he would say like 6, 7, 4, 5, like that, like just mess up the numbers. And then I was just like a little kid, and I was just like in the side. And then Guru Maharaj said, "I want Gaurangi to count. I trust her." So then I just remember feeling so like, so happy that I got the opportunity to, to count Guru Maharaj's like exercises. And then the brahmachari's servants would always get me to, the little, like the bacha, to go and open the door, close the door whenever someone wanted to come in and out. So, I stood up to like open the door because someone was trying to come in. And then, Guru Maharaj was just so sweet and so kind. He's like, "Wait, Gaurangi, are you leaving? Like, don't go. You can like stay." So I was like, "No, Guru Maharaj, I'm just opening the door." And then we got to massage his lotus feet. So sorry that I'm just saying a whole bunch of like little stories. Just wanted to share my experience as like a kid with Guru Maharaj. And just like the best times of my life. Another very embarrassing story, but also lots of mercy. So I just wanted to share is when I was around like 14, I had quit one of the schools. I'd quit the girls' Gurukul. And then I wanted to homeschool. I left the school, but my parents, they said, we're not teachers. Like, we can't homeschool you. You have to go to a school. So then I told my mother, I'm only going to go back to school if Radha Madhava or Guru Maharaj tell me to go to school. So then some time went by, and Guru Maharaj, we would go to see and sing for Guru Maharaj, like lunch, breakfast, dinner. So it was after lunch sometime, and I was kind of standing in the back, like a little bit trying to avoid Guru Maharaj because I had quit school. And I was like, oh, what if he asks me what about school? And also because I had so many rounds to chant. Like I told myself, I'm going to chant 16 rounds. But anyway, I wasn't keeping up with my japa. I was like 14. So then I was just like avoiding Guru Maharaj. I was just like in the back. And then he called me over. And in my head, I was just thinking, please, Guru Maharaj, don't ask me about my japa. And please don't ask me about school. And then as soon as Guru Maharaj called me over, he was like, like, are you going to school? And so I said, no, Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj said, you're a very intelligent girl. And when you grow up, you can be my secretary. But you need to go to school. You're 14 years old. So then he said, okay, do you know where all the countries are? And then he'd say, like, do you know where India is on the map? And I said, yes. Do you know where, London is on the map? And I said, yes. And then he said, do you know where Mongolia is on the map? And I looked, I'm like, no, I don't know. He's like, see, you should go to school. And then I was like, okay, Gurumaharaj, I will go to a school. And then and then after that, he's like, how is your japa? I'm like, oh my God, the two questions that I really didn't want Gurumaharaj to ask, he asked me. And I said, I have a lot of rounds to make up. And he said, how many rounds? I was like, a lot. I didn't want to say. He's like, how many? Like, a lot. So he asked me like 3 times, like, how many rounds do you have? And I was like, 200 and something. I said this crazy number of how many rounds I had to make up because I, was trying to chant 16 rounds every day. So I think, yeah, Gurumaharaj he didn't really say much. He just said, like, just, start over. So then, I started over my japa. Like, okay, I'm going to chant 16 rounds. And anyway, so then, yeah, I think he asked me first about my japa and then about school. And I started crying at one point. And yeah, I got nervous and also, yeah, I wanted to speak to Gurumaharaj, but there were like a lot of devotees around. So I was feeling like a bit shy and embarrassed. So anyways, I started crying. And then, Gurumaharaj just said, like, after we can talk later. So, and then after that, I found out the next day, one of the servants told me, right before Gurumaharaj was going to sleep that day that you spoke to him, he said, oh, Gaurangi's like disturbed. She was crying. I need to help her. So it just shows like how Gurumaharaj, no matter how small, insignificant you are, I'm just, I'm a nobody. I'm just, yeah, I'm nobody, just a little kid. And, Gurumaharaj just thinks about everyone. And I mean, Gurumaharaj is like that. Even now, like anything that, like he gets really upset when he hears like a devotee's hurt or something, like he feels everyone's, like his disciples' pain. He feels all the devotees' pain when, when we're disturbed. And he's just always thinking about others and sacrificing his sleep, sacrificing his time, just everything. I mean, Gurumaharaj's whole life is a sacrifice to us, is a whole sacrifice for us. I mean, this just shows. I remember it was recently. It was like maybe like a few years ago. I was after class, and Gurumaharaj, I raised my hand to ask a question, and I said, Gurumaharaj, when you don't know what to do, like if you're confused about what is the right thing to do, and I know that we say Guru Sadhu Shastra, but I don't understand. I might not understand, like what I'm going through in terms of like the Shastra, or because it might be just like a simple material problem. Or anyway, I just said like I don't understand. Might not understand Shastra, and sadhus may say something different, like give different advice. And then he said, like, what about like, and Guru said, oh, I don't want to disturb you, Gurumaharaj. I said, you're so busy. And then he's like, it's a greater disturbance if you do the wrong thing. He said, it's not a disturbance, like it's a sacrifice of love. He said, I accepted you as a disciple to help you, and I want to see you go back to Godhead. So you can always, you can always speak to me, you can always write to me. So I just thought this was a nice message to, share with, our God family, because, Gurumaharaj is very busy, and many times we don't want to disturb him, but he will go out of his way. He wants to help everyone. Even if you're not like a disciple, Gurumaharaj will go out of his way to help anyone. At the same time, I still, I mean, I still think that we should, be considerate of Guru Maharaj's time. And if there are, questions that can be answered, or like just material questions, we can get guidance from other senior devotees. But yeah, but if it was up to Guru Maharaj, he would just, I mean, he's just giving his time to everyone. And yeah, I just wanted to share that experience. And actually about my experience saying about when Guru Maharaj was asking me about my japa and about school, years later, only a few years later, I found out that my mother told Guru Maharaj, like, Gaurangi doesn't want to go to school. And she said that she'll only go to school if Radha Madhava or you tell her. So please, please inspire her to go to school. Anyways, it was, but yeah, Guru Maharaj knows our hearts. Anyway, I went to school, I graduated after that. I also did my bachelor's degree. So all Guru Maharaj's mercy. But yeah, he inspired me. Even a little problem, he was like getting so involved in our personal lives. And I also wanted to share how, Guru Maharaj is so encouraging to the youth. Like, and I really feel that whenever like Guru Maharaj really sees and really feels our hearts, I just feel that even when you're thinking about something, or you're like, oh, I really miss Guru Maharaj, I hope he looks at me, or something, like if your desire is like really strong, like somehow like Guru Maharaj knows. Because one of my god sisters, before she took initiation, she lives in America, so she doesn't see Guru Maharaj as much as maybe we do in Mayapur. And she asked Guru Maharaj, like, how, like, if I want, how do I stay connected? Or how, no, she said, I think she asked, how will I know, or will you, if I pray to you, will you hear my prayers? And then like Guru Maharaj said, he's like, yes. And I think she asked how will you hear my prayers? And Guru Maharaj said, yes, I will, if you sincerely pray, like Paramatma will hear your prayers, and like I will hear your prayers. So it just really shows how like really connected we are to Guru Maharaj, and yeah, just so special, like connected heart to heart. And this, there's just so many things so many things to say about Guru Maharaj. But I was just saying how he very encouraging to the youth. So I remember we did like a Mridanga presentation in the Mayapur International School like years ago, and the boys did one Mridanga presentation, the girls did one, and it was pretty much the same thing, but the boys was like kind of better and fancier. So Guru Maharaj was there, and I just remember feeling a bit embarrassed, like, oh no, you are not so good. And then it's just like he was so encouraging. And then he came up to like a few of the girls, and he's like, wow, I really love the Mridanga presentation. So it's just like he immediately hears our prayers. Or we would have like youth sanghas, and even though Guru Maharaj is so busy, he makes the time to, he made the time to attend our youth sanghas, and he always gave time for the youth to do kirtan. And yeah, like all the time, Guru Maharaj is just so open with everyone. I mean, just one thing I really love about Guru Maharaj is even like everyone in Mayapur, even if they're not initiated by Guru Maharaj, everyone calls him Guru Maharaj, because it's like, yeah, Guru Maharaj, Mayapur means Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj means Mayapur. So, and everyone, all the youth say, Guru Maharaj is so personal and approachable. So everyone sees Guru Maharaj as also like, their, like our spiritual father or uncle. And we did the Nadia Godrume, a few of the Mayapur youth, I think it was during COVID, we did a Nadia Godrume bhajan, like music video. I think this was like in 2021. And like Guru Maharaj, because I know that Guru Maharaj really loves this bhajan, and Namahata and about Lord Nityananda spreading the mercy. So we did this recording, and then Guru Maharaj saw the video, and the next day, after he saw the video, one of the servants, Haridas Prabhu, told me that Guru Maharaj asked for everyone's emails. And he's like, I want to have all the youth's emails that participated in this, in this bhajan, in this music video. And he said, and I want to write to each of them personally. Like, he didn't want to just, write one mass mail and send to everyone. He wanted to, address everyone. And then, he sent an email to everyone and, just thanking us for this, this music video, the bhajan, and how he really appreciated it so much. And he gave us like blessings, and it just made everyone's day, like disciple or not, everybody was so happy. Like, oh my God, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, sent us an email, like these little things. I mean, not little, this is a huge thing. It's gonna, stay in our hearts forever. And like in regards to like this Nadia Godrume bhajan, I actually have like a story to say. So one of Guru Maharaj's senior disciples, Ananda Krishna Mataji, she said, Nadia Godrume, this is Guru Maharaj's song. It's like, it's like the anthem, because it's in the mood of Lord Nityananda to preach. So she said, we have to sing this bhajan for Guru Maharaj. So then I remember it was 2019, so right before COVID. She said, come on, we need to sing mridangas, we need to bring conch shells, we need to like do this whole thing. And so she's like, very enthusiastic. So, she made the arrangement, and she said, right before Guru Maharaj comes out to give class, we're going to start singing the bhajan and blowing a conch shell, like singing Nadia Godrume. So we sang for Guru Maharaj, Nadia Godrume. And also, he really liked it, and the devotees liked it. So they told us to sing it, in the stage for Guru Maharaj's Vyasa Puja. And one other girl was supposed to sing this, but somehow like the schedule got delayed and she wasn't able to make it. So it wasn't part of the plan, but I ended up having to like lead the bhajan and like the youth. So we sang it for Guru Maharaj, and he was there. And then sometime after that, I think like a month or two, I went to America for like visa and for preaching. And then Guru Maharaj sent like an email. And actually, I got messages from Aladini Mataji, and she's like one of Guru Maharaj's secretaries, and she, said, Gaurangi, what's your email address? Guru Maharaj wants to write to you. He needs to write to you. And then, actually, I sent Guru Maharaj an email like a year before I was in America, and just, kind of updating about my services. And then somehow, I think the servants told me like, send the email again. So I just kind of updated it because it was a year, like it was some time later. So I just wanted to update. And then Guru Maharaj wrote this email saying that, I really liked the Nadia Godrume bhajan that, the youth sang for Vyasa Puja. So can you like send a recording of this, or make a recording with the devotees in Alachua? So then, and he said also that he had a dream about me or something, or I was in the dream. And then I wish I asked what the dream was about, but it was probably something about the bhajan. And he said, I wanted to get in touch with you. And then I heard that you also had sent me an email like at this same time. And so he said, Srila Prabhupada said that when we think of him, he thinks of us. And Guru Maharaj said, somehow we were thinking of each other, which shows how we're connected heart to heart. So I just thought that was, I mean, something that I'll always keep in my heart, that, you know, when we think of Guru Maharaj is thinking of us. And for real, this is so true. Like when I really strongly believe this. And when we're really, really deep in our meditation to Guru Maharaj, and then, yeah, like it's like he really reciprocates. So then, anyways, like we sang the Nadia Go, I recorded it with the devotees there, and we sent it to Guru Maharaj. And then after, I think Guru Maharaj came to America after like 1 or 2 months. And I guess, yeah, he heard the recording, and then we saw each other in Atlanta. And then Guru Maharaj called me and said, you know, I heard the recording, but I liked the how you sang it more in Mayapur. And I said, that's because you were there, Guru Maharaj, like, you know, you're right there. So then, and then he also asked like my brother, like, you know, this bhajan, the Nadia Godrume, like it was really nice, but I liked it more in Mayapur. So then, and then anyways, like some time passed, like he kept giving comments about like the bhajan Nadia Godrume. And then we had like a house program in Alachua. Guru Maharaj was there for like Thanksgiving time, which is they have like a whole kirtan, Festival of the Holy Name in Alachua. We had a whole house program. And then at one point, Guru Maharaj asked for questions. So, you know, I put up my hand and he said, oh, are you going to sing for me today? So then I said, okay, yes, Guru Maharaj, if you want, I will sing. So then he answered my question, and then another devotee asked a question. And then somehow, like towards the end, like he was trying to wrap up the class, he said something like, and Lord Nityananda spread the holy name everywhere. So now Gaurangi is going to sing Nadia. And then he put up his hands like that, and I'm like, ah. And then yeah, and I just like quickly I got the harmonium and started singing Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. And then after my cousin told me, like Krishna Kishore, that because I didn't have time to, you know, like pull out my phone for the lyrics. And then Guru Maharaj asked him, oh, wait, does she know the song by heart? And Krishna Kishore just laughed and said, I guess we'll find out. So then, yeah, we sang the bhajan. So this bhajan has such a special place in my heart. And definitely Guru Maharaj's heart, because he's like the representative of Lord Nityananda, and he's just spreading and preaching the mercy to everyone. So yeah, whenever we sing this bhajan, we can just remember Guru Maharaj as, you know, one of Lord Nityananda's warrior, just spreading the mercy unlimitedly. I mean, because that is one of Guru Maharaj's instructions that he received from Srila Prabhupada, to spread Krishna consciousness unlimitedly. Like it's in his app, and even when we take initiation, you know how we have to promise that we're going to help Guru Maharaj fulfill his mission. So just a nice meditation we can have for this bhajan for Guru Maharaj, yeah, in our hearts. Also, right now I'm actually in Vrindavan, and something that I like to remember, so whenever we go to Vrindavan, is before going to Vrindavan, this was like also like a couple of years ago, I went to see Guru Maharaj and to tell him like I'm going to Vrindavan, and he said, oh, like how long are you going for? And I think it was like a week for a holy name retreat. And he said, you know, you have to be very, very careful when you go to Vrindavan. Like Vrindavan's not like Mayapur. Like Mahaprabhu is just so merciful. You know, if like, you know, mercy is just multiplied in Mayapur. But in Vrindavan, if you make an offense, it also becomes multiplied like 1,000 times. I think it was 1,000 times. So he said, you know, be very careful not to make any aparad. So I just also thought to share this, like when we have to like the right mood to enter Vrindavan. I mean, not that I'm definitely not in, have so much more to develop the right mood. And that same meeting with Guru Maharaj, I asked him, hey Guru Maharaj, I really want to worship Gauri Thai deities. And he said, like, what do you want to get from neem wood or from brass? Like, do you like, will Gauri Thai swim? I think he's saying like, do you want to get Gauri Thai that can swim? Because like wood and Gauri Thai, they can like swim. So then I said, oh, I think I want to get like brass Gauri Thai so I can polish them. And then I thought it would be like a very easy thing, like to just, and Guru Maharaj said, yes, like, get Gauri Thai deities, Haribol. But he said, you have, like, do you have a standard that you want to work, like how you want to worship them? So I said, oh, like I didn't come up. I mean, I didn't have anything like actually prepared. He said, write the standard you want to keep, and then you can send it to me, and then I can see it. So then, I mean, it was such a big thing. So actually, even though I got my DDs after some time, but actually for a few years, I didn't start worshiping them because I was thinking like, wow, this is serious to accept DDs into your home. I have this, it's like another promise, like I'm sending a standard of worship to Guru Maharaj. And after a few years, I think like 2-3 years ago, I finally like wrote down a standard for worship and I sent it to Guru Maharaj. I wanted to start worshiping my Gauri Thai during Purushottaman. So this was in 2020. And then I wrote, like waking up the deities and doing, and I said, offering, like I'll wake them up, do arti and sing, Mangal Arti, Samsara Dava prayers, and also, give an offering and then put them to sleep. So this was like my standard of worship. And Guru Maharaj is so like particular about the details. Like one thing I really realized, writing emails to Guru Maharaj, or, also just even CDM reports, anything, like Guru Maharaj will really read it and analyze it and ask every question. So this standard of worship, I said, and then Guru Maharaj said, so you're not going to offer, you're not going to offer Gauri Thai what you eat, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Because I didn't put that. In my mind, I just thought, like, of course I will offer, but Guru Maharaj was so particular about that. So I said, no, yes, Guru Maharaj, of course, yeah. Like whatever we will offer to Gauri Thai first. And then also I will bathe and dress Gauri Thai every Ekadasi. And Guru Maharaj said, why only Ekadasis? Like you have the weekends, like the weekends are free. So then I added that, like, so every weekend to like bathe and dress Gauri Thai. So that was, yeah. And then I remember I asked Guru Maharaj, like, can you please name them? Then Guru Maharaj gave a few options of names for them, and he said, and he even apologized for responding late because I sent it and I wanted to offer, and he's like, I know that my secretaries told me that you want to start worshiping in Purushottam, and like I've been so busy, so like I'm sorry I took so long to respond, or something like this. And I can't, it's just like Guru Maharaj is, feeling bad. I'm like, I can't believe that, of course, Guru Maharaj is so busy. We, like, of course, it's so understandable that, even if Guru Maharaj takes months to reply, totally understandable. But, it's just so caring and so sweet. And just like, just like all of our fathers, just like our father. So, and also like one really, really also special experience I had. So Guru Maharaj was just in Dallas for his health this like earlier this year for a few months. So I was like dreaming. I was like counting down the days, like when am I gonna see Guru Maharaj? And then so then one time Guru Maharaj is giving class about how the three most powerful things are the water that washes a pure devotee's lotus feet, the dust from devotees' lotus feet, and the Maha Prasad. And how like the Chaitanya Charitamrita describes how these three things are the entrance to ecstatic Krishna Prem. And Guru Maharaj was speaking about like a devotee in the Chaitanya Charitamrita who would take Lord Chaitanya's Maha water when he would enter Jagannath's temple. But he would have to find tricks to get Mahaprabhu's Maha. So the whole class, I was having like a strong desire to get the dust of Guru Maharaj's lotus feet on my head. And I was thinking, like, I was debating in my mind, like, should I ask? Should I not? Because, like, yeah, I mean, because part of the pastime was that Mahaprabhu wasn't, like, this devotee had to trick Mahaprabhu to get the Maha, So then I was thinking, like, should I ask? Should I not? What should I do? And then one of the servants even asked the question, like, how come we don't always allow, devotees to touch Guru Maharaj's feet? And then Guru Maharaj responded that, because I think some devotees didn't allow, like, just anyone to touch Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. And it's because the karma from the other person is transferred. So then Guru Maharaj mentioned how I think someone would touch Srila Prabhupada's feet and Srila Prabhupada would touch their head to transfer back the karma. So then, yeah, the whole time I was thinking, should I ask or not? And trying to guess what Guru Maharaj's response would be. Anyways, and I didn't end up asking in the mic. I didn't end up asking. I just felt, okay, maybe shy and embarrassed. But then as we were all going to get, Jagannath's toothbrush and Guru Maharaj's blessings, I just thought, okay, I'm just going to gather up the courage. And, if I get chastised, that's also mercy. Or, so I just thought, okay, I'm going to try to ask. So I said, Guru Maharaj, can we please have the special mercy today of the dust of your lotus feet? And he didn't respond. So I thought, okay, like, better not. I mean, I guess, Guru Maharaj doesn't want to. And then Abhay, his Guru Maharaj's servant, he said, Guru Maharaj didn't hear you. Say it louder. So then I repeated the question louder. I was like, Guru Maharaj, can I please get the mercy of your lotus feet today? And then Guru Maharaj said, okay, quick, I'm not looking. And then he turned his head. So then I put my head on Guru Maharaj's lotus feet. And then all the devotees were like chanting, like, Haribol. And then Sarvajaya Madhava Prabhu, he said, well, now Guru Maharaj, like, I think that's it. Like, I did that. And then Guru Maharaj was like moving on and giving other blessings. And then Prabhu said, oh, but Guru Maharaj, now you need to put your hands on her head, because the karma will get so that the karma gets transferred back. So I don't think Guru Maharaj is going to do it. But then when Prabhu said, and then Guru Maharaj, put his hands on my head. So I just thought, I mean, that was like one of the best days of my life. I mean, just Guru Maharaj is so merciful. He's just so merciful. And then just like a final thing that I just wanted to share, especially because, we have so many God brothers and God sisters. And many times devotees even come up to me that are not Guru Maharaj disciples, and they say, like, how do you feel? You have so many God brothers and God sisters. You have like 60,000. How do you feel connected with Guru Maharaj? And for me, I feel a little bit offended, to be honest, when I get asked this question. I'm like, of course feel connected to Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj is like so personal, so approachable. One thing I really really realized about Guru Maharaj is that we can be nobodies. I'm a nobody. I'm just, a young girl. But even if you're like a temple president, if you're a GBC, or if you're just a child or youth or Mataji or Prabhu, like no matter what, Guru Maharaj treats everyone the same. Guru Maharaj will, doesn't matter who you are, he will just go out of his way to care for you and to make sure like we're okay. And also, being connected through service. Because I think that's how we really stay connected, like throughout our lives. And one thing, so for me, like I feel very connected to Guru Maharaj through my service in the Bhakti Kids, in the Congregational Development Ministry, because this is like Guru Maharaj's ministry. And, like Guru Maharaj wants us to preach. And actually, the best advice I've ever had in my life from my parents, like my father told me, when you really love someone, you try to spend time with them how they want to. So if you love somebody that loves to cook, then you should enter the kitchen and you cook with them. So he said, and Guru Maharaj loves to preach. So if you really love Guru Maharaj, then you also preach. And he said, and then you will see that Guru Maharaj will, Guru Maharaj will talk to you. Guru Maharaj will come to you. Guru Maharaj will, ask about preaching. And so I think, that for me, that was like, it's so important. I always try to carry that mood because, even if we don't get to, speak to Guru Maharaj every time we see him, or even if we don't get to see Guru Maharaj because he's always traveling everywhere preaching, that's how we stay connected. Like when we're preaching, when we're sharing, and that's what makes Guru Maharaj happy. And that's like what he wants. Yeah, what he wants from us disciples, to help him spread, Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And then, like, it doesn't matter if we're young or old, or even if you're a woman or a man, or Mataji, Prabhu, Guru or not. That's one thing. Like, one thing I'm really finding is that in all of Guru Maharaj's like emails and all the classes, he's always saying how he wants all of his disciples, to take the Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta and become gurus, to spread the mercy. And he's saying, also for the Matajis, he's empowering the Matajis also to, to give classes, to preach. Guru Maharaj he doesn't exclude or just, just Prabhus can do this type of thing, or only Matajis can do, this type of service. Guru Maharaj wants everyone to preach. He wants all of us to, to take that responsibility. So that's one thing that for me, I just feel so inspired by Guru Maharaj. He's always, he's always supporting us in our service. He's always inspired and, encouraging, and he wants all of us to do that. And also like to encourage all of us to take these different degrees. Last year in Vrindavan, when Guru Maharaj came, he asked me like, what degree do I have? Like Shastric degree. So I told Guru Maharaj, I did the Bhakti Shastri. And he asked him, what about the next one? So I said, okay, Guru Maharaj, I'll do Bhakti Vaibhav for you. So then he raised his fist. He's like, yes. And then also like through email said, I think you have Bhakti Shastri, but it would be nice if you do Bhakti Vaibhav and Bhakti Vedanta degrees. So actually, in a few days, I'm trying to fulfill that instruction and going to start my Bhakti Vaibhav. So I'm seeking blessings and mercy from all the devotees here, and especially from Guru Maharaj. So, I just realized it's almost an hour past, and there's just so much to say about Guru Maharaj. Didn't even start to say about like Guru Maharaj's mercy to CDM and Bhakti Kids. There's so much to say. And I think Sadhguru Mataji.
Yeah, yes, Mataji, you can tell a little about the Bhakti Kids, like what is Guru Maharaj's vision in that. Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, like Bhakti Kids, everything is like Guru Maharaj's vision. And it just really shows when Guru Maharaj's mercy and blessings are somewhere, it really flourishes. So like before COVID, right before COVID, I published one book, Becoming Your Devotee, for kids. And yeah, Guru Maharaj is very, very encouraging about this. Like he said, we have to find a way to engage the children. The children are very important in our Krishna consciousness movement. Srila Prabhupada said that they're Vaikuntha children. We have to engage them in Krishna consciousness. So he's told this to the CDM. And so that's when we decided, like, we need to open up a little department for the kids. So then I took this up as my service of Bhakti Kids. But I was very young. I was like 20, 21, no, like 20. So I didn't really know what direction to go. But anyway, I was working on this children's book. And then, Guru Maharaj is very, very encouraging. So right before I was publishing the book, I saw Guru Maharaj in America, and he said, so how is the book going? Is it a book or a children program? And he asked more details. He said, like, when is the book coming out? So I said, okay, like, we're trying to have it out before, like, for Gaura Purnima. And so then, like, the book was published, and then, Guru Maharaj was very encouraging. Like, he would share about it he like would sign the book for like different parents and devotees that wanted to get signed, and he like promoted it in the ILS, and he was asking many details. And one thing he said, again, also shows how Guru Maharaj is all like, just very analytical and just very into the details. He looked and he said, he gave feedback that, the font, I think for kids, the font should be bigger. So then he said, like, okay, Guru Maharaj, for the next book, so make sure the font is bigger. So for this second book that just came out this year, I made sure to really follow Guru Maharaj's instructions. And it's fun. It's actually interesting because when he saw this book, he looked at it, and Guru Maharaj has a fantastic memory. He's like, is this font size big enough? And then I said, I said, oh, Guru Maharaj, I remember you pointed at one page that you liked the font size, and we made sure that it was like that. And he said, okay, but he remembered 3 years ago, he made this comment and this feedback, and he remembered everything. And we had this meeting, this Bhakti Kids meeting. It was during COVID time, like June. I think it was like June or July. And we shared like the vision for Guru Maharaj of, what we want to do. Like, we want to have a whole, many children books, to have a whole curriculum for schools and children programs. And also we said we want to have like different children programs, and like just we want to have training for parents and temples to set up children programs in their community. And Guru Maharaj said, he really likes this vision, and he gave his blessings. And he said, like, we need to find a way to engage the children. And then he said, we need to do things for the festivals. He said, Janmashtami is coming up, Julan Yatra is coming up, Gaura Purnima, Radhastami, Purushottam month. Like, he gave a whole list of festivals. He said, we need to find some way. And then he said, okay, in the website, and then we said, we want to have a website with, different resources. He said, what types of resources? Like, he was very particular, and we're like stories and recipes and games. And he's like, okay, he was listing, and he said, what about this? And like, he was giving different contacts. And he said, like, when is this happening? It's like, I can give the money for the website. Like, Guru, he's just so passionate about engaging children in Krishna consciousness, like, and helping, grihastas. And then, we took this as, our project for the next few festivals. What are we going to do? So then, like, from this meeting, I really feel like Guru Maharaj really empowered Bhakti Kids. Because before this meeting, like we just had a lot of ideas, but wasn't really going. I mean, we didn't really know what direction to take. But after this meeting, I just felt like Bhakti Kids like exploded and really flourished. So, and it was Guru Maharaj's inspiration to do something for Purushottam month. And that's the first online program we had for, and I think, I mean, maybe some of you know about this Purushottam challenge for children. So it was all Guru Maharaj's, idea, and he gave the names for all of it. And when we sent him the calendars, I just thought, I don't want to disturb Guru Maharaj, I'll just send him one calendar. And he wanted to see all of them. And he gave like feedback, and he gave different options, and he joined our last Sangha. So, and he like gave the certificate, the signature. So, I mean, so many kids joined because of Guru Maharaj's mercy. Like in 2020, we had like 1,500. And this year, again, anyway, there's more stories about like Guru Maharaj's mercy. Guru Maharaj always he wants to hear reports, preaching reports. And then one of the servants, I think Aladini Mataji said, we should always try to double. I think Guru Maharaj likes to see when we try to double the goal. So we thought, okay, we had 1,500 3 years ago. So this time we need to have 3,000. But somehow, I tried my best. We tried, Bhakti Kids tried, we did so much, and we reached like 2,000. I said, oh, I felt a little disappointed because I thought, oh, we need to report to Guru Maharaj 3,000, because he said, how many kids do you think will join? So I told Guru Maharaj, we're aiming for doubling the amount. And we didn't reach that amount. And then few hours before Purushottam month started this year, I'm not joking, like 5 hours before, one of our god sisters saw Guru Maharaj talking about Purushottam challenge of Bhakti Kids, and she shared it on her Instagram, Janavi Nimai Mataji, and she has a lot of Instagram followers, and we surpassed 3,000. So I just thought, wow, Guru Maharaj, really, it's all Guru Maharaj's mercy that, everything is possible. Everything's possible in Krishna consciousness. So anyway, just a little thing about Guru Maharaj's, active role in Bhakti Kids and engaging children in Krishna consciousness. And yeah, so thank you so much for, just being here.
Thank you, Mamaji. Thank you for telling us such blissful experiences and so many learnings we got to know from you. So Mataji, I just want, if anyone, any Prabhu or Mataji have any questions or anything to share with you. Anyone has any questions, they can unmute themselves and can ask Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. You narrated, your conversation with Guru Maharaj about writing to him personally. If you can just repeat that once again. Initially you said, I think that Guru Maharaj is busy and we shouldn't be troubling him. So what was the response that Guru Maharaj had? If you could just repeat that once again, that will be a great help for all the devotees.
Oh, yes. Guru Maharaj said, I had to hear the words. Guru Maharaj said, it's a greater disturbance if you do the wrong thing. So it's better if you ask me. And he said, it's not a disturbance at all. It's a sacrifice of love. And, I accepted you as a disciple to help you. And I want to see you go back to Godhead. He said, so we that you can always write and ask him questions. Is that the part you were referring to, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, I think that's what I wanted precisely. Thank you so much for repeating it again.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for accepting my immaturity and young, young storytelling.
Yeah, we can see Seva Sarv Prabhuji as well. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji. So, Sri Hari Sridhar Prabhuji also mentioned in the chat that they're using your books for this, for his son. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're very grateful for your services, Mataji, and for today's session. It was really blissful. So, we all can thank Mataji by chanting one time Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to share about Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Again, Hare Krishna. Such a blissful, wonderful experience you share with. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, can we also have a session with Seva Sarv Prabhuji also? He got, I can't see him now, but I'll talk to you if he can join us.
Okay, I'll speak to he's here. He's in the meeting. Now he has to say yes.
Yeah, I saw him like a few minutes back. I saw Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.